You probably don't know who this PGA Pro is, and that's because he hits his driver shorter than anyone on the PGA Tour. This is Brian Stuard, and last year he averaged 272.3 yards off the tee. He's 40 years old, looks like he's ready to drop his daughter off at the prom, and he still hits his driver over 20 yards farther on average than I do. Now, as a former two-time All-State athlete, I didn't want to accept that this 40-year-old dad could hit his driver farther than me. So I decided I was going to hit my driver 100 times a day for an entire month to see if I could outdrive the worst driver on the PGA Tour. And if I'm not able to do that by the end of the month, I'm going to send a sleeve of Pro V1s to the person who leaves the best comment below. Now, the first thing I had to do was get a baseline. So I hit 30 drives and was able to get a respectable average of 258 yards.
Alrighty, we got day one in the books. Average ball speed, 153. Average carry, 245. Average total distance, 258.
Good, but still 15 yards away from our short drive king, Brian Stuard. Next began the grind. For the next 21 days, I hit driver every day at least 100 times a day. In order to surpass Brian, there were 3 fundamental swing issues I needed to fix: my club speed, my launch angle, and my club path. The first thing I needed to correct was my club path, which was causing not only a terrible slice, but also a loss of distance. Because of this big out-to-in swing path, my current drive had 3 outcomes: keep the face square to target and slice the crap out of it.
Swing speed's so slow. Gotta get those swing speeds up.
Close my face angle to be even with my swing path and hit it straight, but 40 yards right. Or have the perfect amount of closed face to pair with my swing path to hit it dead straight. The only issue with that is even though it ends up going dead straight, the path to get there goes so far right to left that I end up losing serious distance. Fixing my swing path was not easy. My first 15 days, I could not figure out how to fix this. I tried everything I could think of until finally I tried taking the club extremely close to my body. In my mind, this felt extremely weird, and I thought it would make my swing look awful. But looking back at the footage, my swing actually looked a lot better than before, and it helped me straighten up my swing path to an acceptable level. This goes to show, all because it feels weird doesn't mean it looks weird. Now, not only did this swing path help me hit the ball straighter, but it also helped me gain some distance. I was starting to average around 260 to 262 yards a day. Better, but still 10 to 12 yards short of our short drive king, Brian Stuard. The next thing I needed to fix was my VLA, vertical launch angle. Essentially, I was hitting the ball too low. And to optimize distance, I wanted my launch angle to be somewhere between 10 and 18 degrees.
Let's go!
I fixed this by adding a little shoulder tilt and making more of a conscious effort to hit up on the ball. When I combined my new swing path with the correct VLA, I was able to get an average of 264, my highest yet. Still 8 yards short of our short drive king Brian, there was one thing left to fix: my swing speed. I began averaging 104 miles per hour, and while I could technically beat Brian with a perfect day, I needed to get my swing speed up.
Yeah, so look at that. So I'm hitting it really pure, right? I had a 151 smash right there, 252 carry, 274 total, but with a 102 swing speed, I'm not gonna get anywhere.
This was the hardest part for me. For the first 21 days, I maybe gained 1 mile per hour or 2 at most. I seemed to max out at 106 average club speed, and could never seem to hit one faster than 110 miles an hour. But then something crazy happened. For days 22 through 26, we went on a family vacation in Florida. And when I returned home, my swing speed had skyrocketed. I was suddenly swinging 110 miles per hour easily and had a few swings hit 115 miles per hour. Now, I'm not sure if it was that sweet Florida air that gave me a little confidence, or the fact that my wife wouldn't let me golf every day, so I actually had a couple of days to rest my body. But whatever it was, suddenly, Brian's short drive record seemed attainable. And on day 28, Brian's record was about to go down. First, I outdrove him on the simulator golf tour, averaging out at 276 yards and having a monster day 2 average of 296. There was only one issue. This only counted drives when I hit the fairway. So to prove I could truly beat his average, I decided to hit 14 drives on the driving range to show Brian who was really the top dog.
No. There we go! 286 carry. Boys, Brian's a little scared right now. Third drive, 286 carry, 302 total, 112 club speed. Our boy Brian's on the ropes. Yo, there we go. 115 club speed. Even midway through this challenge, I could never even get above 110. Like, it felt like it was impossible. And all of a sudden, we're up to 115. There's another good one. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Now, boys, I'm not gonna lie. I started this challenge off amazing. 9 shots in, I was averaging 293 yards off the tee, and my average offline was only 18 yards. This had to be one of the best driving rounds I've ever had, and I did get a little nervous. I saw that distance 9 shots in, knew I only had 5 shots left, and didn't want to blow it. So those last 5 shots, I started to get a little erratic, missed the face, distance dropped a little bit, offline went up a little bit, but we still finished with a 288 average and an offline of 22 yards. By far my best numbers overall.
So, Brian, this last week we kicked it into gear, took you down. Now we're gonna have to do it in real life. So if you watch this video, reach out to me. Let's have a little competition. Let's see how it goes. So taking a look back at how much we improved since day one, total distance, day one, we averaged 258 yards off the tee. And by the end of the 30 days, we were able to get 288 yards. Now, if we wanted to make that gap look as big as possible, we did have an early day in there where we only averaged 252 yards. So our widest gap from lowest to highest was 36. Now, regardless of looking at distance, one of the big catalysts to get there was our swing speed. We started at 104 miles an hour, and by the end of the training session, we were able to get to 111 miles per hour on average, which equates to about 21 extra yards of carry when hit with the same smash factor. Finally, our offline, one of my favorite stats to look at. We started at 33 yards offline on average, which is borderline losing your ball on a tight fairway, to 22 yards of average offline, which is finding a fairway almost every time or just right outside that fairway.
Now, if you guys are looking to do this same thing, want to get this practice in, get a MEVO Plus. This thing's only $1,800. Get a hitting mat, a hitting net. You can get that all in for under $2,000. Split that with a buddy, and you'll be able to hit an infinite amount of golf balls. This by far is the best purchase I have made for golf. And if you're someone who lives in a winter area, you can get it too. Use our code down below to get it as cheap as possible. That's it for this video. We hope to see you for the next one. Thanks for watching this episode of GolfBusters.